The reality is that it doesn't end well. And there's a lie being perpetuated in our society right now that self-love is somehow embracing and even celebrating our shortcomings. Hello friends, and welcome back to our little house on the mountain. If you're new here and you end up enjoying today's video, I would love to have you subscribe so that we can visit again. So I got that urge today to start my pre-autumn fall cleaning. The beginning of autumn is my favorite time of year to do deep cleaning. I could just feel it. I could feel it moving through my body. And the cozy season is coming. It doesn't feel it today. Today is very uncomfortable and hot and sticky, but it is coming soon, and I love a deep cleaning in fall. But I had to reel myself in because I know that if I just go with that impulse and I start pulling things out of drawers, cabinets, and closets, I am going to regret it later tonight and be on the floor crying. So I decided to just do my kitchen corner cabinet today, give that a nice deep clean and refresh. Get rid of some stuff I didn't need anymore, clean out some of my jars, and that's looking lovely. So I did that little bit, but I needed that discipline to not just go with my impulses and start pulling things out of everything and then regret it. One of the realities of life is that pain and discomfort's a part of life. And the conclusion I've come to over the last few years is that we can either have the discomfort and the pain of stretching and growing and creating consistent, healthy, healing daily habits, or we can deal with the pain and discomfort of regret. So me personally, I would rather deal with the first one than the regret. I have a lot of regrets from my past, and I don't want to live that way anymore. I don't know about you, but let's talk about discipline and consistency. I know some of you were like, is she gonna turn the teapot off? I got it. It is hot and sticky, but we are gonna have our afternoon tea. The humidity cannot steal all of my joy. So we're going to talk about why discipline is self-love, ways to break the struggle, be more consistent, and build habits that build a more fulfilled life. What I have observed over the years is that one of the main reasons people don't succeed at the things that they set out to do is because they get overwhelmed. So we're going to start this with the first step, an easy step. All you need is a notebook or a journal. It could be any notebook. You could go get a $1.25 notebook from the corner store. You could get the journal or the notebook that's been sitting under a pile of dust and papers for the last 2 years. I did create a journal. If you're interested in something a little bit fancy, I created this intentional living journal last year, and this is for sale on Amazon. And the journal has prompts in it, it has journaling space, it has inspirations and scripture and things to encourage you, but any single notebook or journal will do just fine. So what I want you to do is think about and write down so that you can see it and it can come from your brain down onto the piece of paper to make it real. And I want you to write down 5 standards, 5 to 10 standards, at least 5, at the most 10, so we don't get overwhelmed and we don't undersell ourselves. 5 to 10 standards that you have for your life. And the key to this is blocking out the noise. I do not want you to base these standards on what you think is acceptable for society, for the people around you, for your peer group, for whatever voices in your head may be pressuring you, voices from your childhood. I really want you to sit with this for a minute. Turn off the noise, the phone, other people's opinions, put on some instrumental music if it helps you to think, get yourself a cup of something yummy, and think, what are the standards that I want to set for myself in my life? What are the things and the habits that I no longer want to find acceptable and what are the standards that I want to live by on a day-to-day, a month-to-month, a year-to-year basis. And I really want you to take some space in that journal or notebook and start writing these things down, starting with this simple step of these 5 to 10 standards. When you're done with that, the next thing that you're going to do in your notebook or your journal is you're going to write down your 5 to 10 biggest temptations or comparisons that you believe are stopping you from achieving the standards that you just jotted down for yourself. What are the things blocking you? And once you write those 5 to 10 temptations or blocks down that you think are in the way between you and living at that standard that you want to set for your life, I want you to observe which of those things are out of your control, something in your external environment that you don't personally have control over at the moment, and which of those things are choices and habits that you do have control over, but you're currently feeling like you're just not winning the battle in that area. I am really hoping that it rains tonight. We desperately need some rain here on the mountain. So the next headline that I want you to jot down, to go back and think about, is what are your top limiting beliefs? And we can create these limiting beliefs from when we're young, things that are told to us, type of thoughts that we've had planted into our minds and then meditated on them over and over and over again for years and years and years of our life. And one thing human beings are really good at is justifications and excuses and blaming other things or other people for our own shortcomings. We're just really, really good at this. That's been happening since the Garden of Eden. Then Adam played the blame game with Eve, then Eve played the blame game with the serpent, then the serpent started with the shenanigans. So this has been going on for a really long time. And this is the part of the conversation that's a little bit challenging because nobody wants to confront or be accountable or to acknowledge where they are using excuses or justifications. And it's also very uncomfortable to deal with our limiting beliefs. That can really be met with resistance. But as I said in the beginning, there's going to be resistance, discomfort, and pain in life. So we can either deal with the resistance and discomfort of pressing through these topics and getting to the heart of it so that we can get to where we want to go and where we're destined to go and live our purpose, or we can deal with the pain of the regret. Who's making noise back here, huh? You guys want snacks? Something that also reminds me of cozy season is pumpkin vines, and the squash and pumpkin and zucchini vines are so beautiful this year. I just love coming out here and looking at them, and the morning glory vines are beautifully coming over the trellis. Look at these. The shenanigans of this heat. And ironically, I'm gonna fold and put away all of my thrifted new sweaters for cozy season. I found this cashmere dress, all cashmere, Club Monaco, on ThreadUp. I think with the coupon or the discount I had, I think it was maybe $16. Hey, bud. So I cannot wait to wear this with a little cropped sweater over the top part. Ooh, but not today. Also, I've been very busy with business projects, and so I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a tremendous pile of laundry right here off of the camera that you cannot see, but it's there. and I'm gonna tackle it, and I'm gonna tackle it today. Even though it's hot in here, I'm gonna do it. So in fairness, I think when we talk about our limiting beliefs and our poor habits, we do have to acknowledge the fact that while there are things that are within our control, they're just bad habits, and we need to make small steps to lasting change. We need to delay gratification and do what needs to be done in the moment. There are other factors that can really hinder our productivity and can really hinder us from being able to get to the next level of consistency and discipline. And some of those factors can be mental challenges. We could be struggling with things like anxiety or depression. I know that I used to have pretty severe panic disorder and anxiety that is tremendously under control these days. I still have my moments when I don't protect my peace well, or I let myself slip in some of my habits in terms of making sure I am engaged in my relationship with the Most High, reading the Word, praying, speaking the Word over my life, believing the Word with my whole heart. If I start slipping in that area, getting too distracted, sometimes the anxiety will slip back in, but it is tremendously better. And some of the way that I dealt with the anxiety was through healing my gut, and then the rest of it was really spiritual and training my thoughts. There's so many things that we can overcome, so many things that can be restored, so many things that were lost and broken that maybe can't be put back together and look exactly the same, but it can still be turned into something beautiful. So physically, there could be things that set us back. I myself struggled with serious, multiple chronic illnesses for 20 plus years. And that kind of exhaustion can really hinder your ability to be consistent and disciplined. And that's a real thing. That is a really, really real thing. So many people today are deficient in nutrients and minerals, and that can cause serious brain fog. So these are some of these elements that sometimes we just going day to day, we don't think about, but they could be having a profound effect on our ability to get to the next place that we want to go. And just to take a pause here on that topic, because I know that that is very real and we can't just glaze over it. I've spent the last 10 years peeling back the layers on the sickness cycle that I was in and learning how to enter into a healing cycle. I put together a program on all of those layers that I peeled back and the different things that I learned and implemented. That program is called Entering Your Healing Era. It's available on our website. It is a self-paced, step-by-step program. You can go back and access it at any time. I add to it consistently. It has a bunch of workbooks, tons of video bonuses, 2 recipe bundles, and it's chock full of things to help you if you are stuck in a cycle of sickness, just being sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you are ready to walk into your wellness era. I am also almost ready to launch my next program, which is all about the anti-hustle culture brand builder for people that are looking to learn how to make money online, basically being themselves, but they're not into hustle culture. And they're not into a lot of the scammy things that they see on the internet. And so I've also compiled my journey of building my online brand, but doing it in an authentic way and navigating through a lot of the stuff online that maybe you're not too fond of, and learning about YouTube and the different social media platforms and websites and emails and affiliate marketing and digital marketing. So if you're interested in any of those sort of things, go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can follow me on Instagram, and you can subscribe to our newsletter on our website and get updates. All right, so back to the video. So once we figure those factors out and see what is just bad habits, and what are other things that really do need to be addressed that might be standing in our way, then we get to the nitty-gritty of small steps for big change. And this is where we begin with small daily habits that start as goals, become our lifestyle, And they are things that are more attainable. So in your journal, in your notebook, you're gonna jot down 3 to 5 simple things, simple habits that you think that you can either stop doing, do differently, or implement into your day. And I want you to choose things that are going to be a little bit easier, because you don't want to take on too much at once, get overwhelmed, burn out, and quit. We're not about the quitting here. We are going to go forward, go forth, go onward, and do what needs to be done. What did I just do here? So you're going to start with a few simple goals of habits to either eliminate, change, or add. And then once you have turned those from goals into lifestyle, where they are habits, now you're getting up in the morning, you're making your bed, or you're brushing your hair, or you're journaling, or you're praying, or you're reading the word, or you're taking a walk, whatever you're doing, once that becomes part of your consistency and lifestyle, then you can move on to some bigger goals. Go ahead and write down the bigger goals and then tackle those. But really, this is about doing things one small step at a time for big changes. Do you want to see? I know you want to see. I'm exposing myself. I've been so busy working on the course. I'm gonna do it though. You heard it here first. Just fold one thing at a time, right? One thing at a time. Friends, I wanted to thank you all so much as always for choosing to spend a piece of your day with me and come back to our little house on the mountain. I value all of you so much. I thank you for liking the video, for subscribing, for commenting, and for sharing with somebody that you love. I want to give a special shout out to our members here on YouTube and our patrons over on Patreon. I just put out a new members block vlog a day or two ago, depending on when you're seeing this. And I'm just so grateful for all of you. So Lord willing, I will see each and every one of you, precious and beautiful souls, right here on the next one. Bye, friends.